Okay, this is my communication system. This is what I would use as a choice board. Typically, this would be printed out on just a laminated piece of paper. What I normally do is I print out this plain sheet right here, and then I would add Velcro into each square, and then cut out these pieces and add the opposite Velcro onto those so they can actually stick to the plain square so they have a place to go. So our options here are apple, banana, orange, chicken nuggets, goldfish, wagon, a chewy stick, bubble guppies, which is actually a video that the client knows, and then the trampoline. For this client specifically, we started off just having two choices, just the apple and the goldfish actually on the choice board, and once he learned to do that, we gradually increased the amount of pictures he had on each board. We originally did not have mixed items, so like food and then activities as well, all on one board, but it ended up being easier and he communicates better with it just all being on one versus several papers. This client in particular has pretty severe aggressive behaviors and self-injurious behaviors. So the idea of using PECS for him wasn't ideal because having a binder with all those cards and all that materials isn't realistic for him at the time of when we implemented this. We attempted to do it very briefly, but it ended up getting torn apart constantly, and the pieces were bit, and it ended up just not working out. So we started off with this instead to do a little simpler form. And what we do is it's very similar. We can't call it PECS because it's not PECS. It's really just a choice board for him. But he will, select the apple, unvelcro the apple from the sheet, and then hand it to me. Remember, it tells me he wants an apple. I also require him to Velcro it. I hand it back to him, and he Velcros it back. And that's just to kind of get some more instructional control with him. This works really well. This client, like I said, has pretty severe aggressive behaviors, and he is nonverbal. He has no words that he can communicate with us. So this was our first step to aiding in that communication. He can independently select these materials. These are the ones that he has mastered. He does have other pages of other ones that he's never really chosen, just because he's not really interested. So this is how that works. And like I said, I call this a choice board. We did start off with just two. A lot of choice boards will just say like this or that. But for him, he has the ability now to have a lot more options at one time, and this makes it easier. These are the things that he typically wants most often that we're going to see those behaviors for. So he's got the chewy down here because he has self-biting, and then will bite others as well, and other clients at our center. So he will actually independently request this when he needs to, which is really, really great. That took time to train that as well. So this is the device that I am going over, and I apologize for not having it actually in front of me, and also for not having my face in this video. But this is how this works. It just Velcros right onto this area, and then you cut out these and just stick them right on top. And I guess if you didn't want to do that, you could actually just print this out and just have them point to it. The purpose of us doing the Velcro was to eventually prepare him for PECS. So he would get that process of taking it off, handing it to someone, and in that sense, selecting it instead of just pointing to it. So that is my choice board. And this is my most successful form of communication with this client, the most successful communication system. We also did try an iPhone app and things like that, but his fine motor skills were not quite at par to be able to select the items on the iPad. So this is the best solution for what we've got.